Dhruva Patodia is the founder of SortMyScene, a company that was founded 1.5 years ago, and in a short span of time, it has caught the attention of a lot of people. Welcome to So What's Next, Dhruv. I'm happy to have you on the show here.
Pleasure's all mine. Yeah, looking forward what's in store.
So, the first two questions are like very basic, and I have to ask that for the consumers basically.
Okay.
Show me some clarity on what does SortMyScene actually do.
What does SortMyScene actually do? Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think people are a little confused as well.
Yeah.
SortMyScene is the one-stop shop for nightlife, wherein we're getting party goers easy access to venues. At the same time, we're giving venues a faster access to party goers, and it's smoother access to certain party goers who don't want to go through certain hassles to get to a particular event or get to a particular nightclub.
So it's basically you are creating an easier nightlife for people, millennials and Gen Z mainly.
Yes, so we're working in sync with both the event organizers and the clubs and party goers to come together to create the perfect platform which would benefit both in the long run.
Right. That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
So firstly, tell me, why did you get started? Because I know that when you got started, you had a lot of difficulty, like in basically like people weren't taking you seriously, right?
Yeah.
So then tell me about that.
So why we got started with this? Okay, fine. I'm an engineering guy, bro. So I used to not get entries to clubs. So this is a fast way for me to get entries. No one can stop me now, no? But no, that's not the scene. I think why we got started is, I think while I was studying at London Business School, there was quite similar platform out there which was super cool. And as a student out there, I used to use it frequently, and it was just so easy to get to certain events and venues. And when I come out here in Bombay, I'm like, dude, it's so difficult to, get to a simple event. It's like not a one click, it's like 10 calls to get somewhere. And that just prompted us to, ideate over it. And obviously people took us as a threat in the industry, take us yet as a threat as an industry, certain organizers. But for us, we are yet working in sync with organizers, giving them certain capabilities which make them even more powerful as organizers. And that is why I think a lot of our clients love us for that matter. And when it comes to party goers, we just made their life easy to get to events.
Yeah, dude. So in fact, when I was researching for this, one of my friends, he told me how he heard about SortMyScene. He told me he was in Goa and he didn't know anything about Goa. So he was trying to find a place. And he just went to one party. The DJ told him about SortMyScene, that bro, like, find this out here. You'll get everything, you'll go to every place and all. And that's how he actually found about that. And then he used that to like basically go everywhere and like party and stuff. This happened yesterday. He told me that yesterday.
Is it? So that's super cool, because I think more than anything, we love DJs, we love artists. So if you ever see our Instagram or handle or something, you'll see how much we've actually focused more on artists, because I think they are the life of the party.
Now, when I come to the competition part, so tell me, like, how did you actually go from nobody in 1.5 years to being somebody in that list?
I think 99% of our event organizers have always stuck to us. They've never left SortMyScene exclusively, that too. Like, they
do you think like that's the differentiating point between you and other competitors that you have?
I do think that this is the USP, wherein we are very
easy to work with,
and I wouldn't say the others are not. I haven't worked with them, but it's just that I think we go an extra mile with the event. Like, personally, I would be involved in an event if I genuinely think it's super cool,
right?
And I would ideate on things which is not required by a ticketing platform.
I think in the end you're the party person, right? So that's why you want to be super involved.
More than that, I think we want to be involved with events which are going to be super cool to just witness.
Right.
And how can we go beyond ticketing is always my question, and that is how we try to support the scene out there.
So how you go beyond ticketing, like, that's a very relevant question. When I look at like BookMyShow, Paytm and all, these guys, they basically also tie up with artists, right? And they get them. So I think that in itself becomes like a very huge marketing gig for them. So how
100%.
like have you ever planned to like get them and basically go beyond the ticketing game?
So that's a very interesting question. I'll be very honest, because one thing's very clear from our side is we do not invest in artists. We do
Okay.
not bring down artists because we don't have money, bro. So we haven't raised money,
Yeah.
so we can't do any of
Yeah.
that. No, but jokes aside, we don't do any of that. We don't plan to do any of that because the cost and risk, it's high risk, high rewards out there.
True.
So the cost and the risk involved is super high for startups like us to bring in. And I would be happy to attend these concerts rather than taking the stress of these concerts.
Okay.
Right?
But why didn't you like choose to raise money and like in terms of even growth? Let's talk about growth now. That when you choose to raise money compared to when you're like bootstrapped. I know bootstrap is the way to go, like it's sustainable, everything. All my respect for bootstrap companies, compared to let's say when a company is raising funds and they can grow much faster with like let's say you raise 5 crores and get someone out there and then your name goes up and everything like happens again and again. So why did you choose to remain bootstrapped even after like knowing all of this?
Yep, that keeps me in a spot. But honest question, if I probably raise funds, I wouldn't be allowed to sit here, putting in 2 hours out
Yeah.
here to chill. No, but I think more than that, why do you raise funds?
Yeah.
You raise funds for 3 reasons, right? One is you actually need money. Second is for strategic and mentorship, strategic partnerships
Yeah.
and all of this. And third is mentorship, basically.
Right.
Like 3 reasons why you do that. First, coming to the first point is I think thankfully I'm backed financially pretty well. And the good thing is we are a profitable company. So do I really need to raise funds? I am not sure about that. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't plan to. Second is in terms of strategic partnerships. I do respect VCs. I do respect angel investors and all of it. But can they probably connect me to an event organizer in Shillong?
Yeah.
Can they? I don't know about that. But I do know that if I bring in the right hires, they can do that. So strategic partnerships, yes, they can help us with bigger brands, like probably getting sponsorship and all of that. But again, that's not my role as a ticketing platform. That's the role of an event organizer. So again, I'm safe out there. So strategic partnership and probably mentorship. Thankfully, I was never from this industry. So I always started as a clean slate with zero idea about how the hospitality F&B events industry works. And I've had some crazy people, mentoring me, not mentoring, but, always giving me that input of advice. Like, I can go on naming people, but I can say the entire Bombay hospitality sector who works with us has always openly mentored us into, okay, Dhruv, what you're doing is probably not right. Look at this in this way. Dhruv, probably go for this city. I think it's popping. Even event organizers, like I know when I came in first, I was 24 maybe. 24.
Yeah.
So I had 19-year-old event organizers telling me ki this is how this is what's happening in the city. This is what's happening in XYZ city. This is how the customers want to go about it. And all in all, everybody has mentored us, and I think that is good enough. And I'm very happy the relations we have with venues. I can reach right now probably Game Palacio or even a Opa Bar and Cafe or a Mitro or anywhere, any place I can go and I can ask be it the manager, the organizers or whoever, like the owners out there, that, okay, I need some help with this thing. Like, can you help me out understand how to go about this? And they will all be happy to tell me this is anything about any
event that's happening.
any
or
event.
something.
And thankfully that works out well for us.
So basically, the 3 points that you said about raising money, you covered all the 3 or profit.
I missed the 4th one, which was
What was the
basically you
4th?
want to be super cool in the newspaper and probably get a good rishta after your 28th.
Yeah.
that is another scene also, right?
No, that's true. That's
They'll
true.
Google you. They'll be like, oh, $10
Oh,
million.
this guy got $679 million, right?
6, 7, that's what you saw. I didn't see that. $10 million
Dude,
fund raise.
But yeah, that's scary, man. Like when you check out, like, have you raised money, and on Google it's showing that you have, but it's like, now you've spoken about mentorship and all that,
Yeah.
how you didn't need mentorship from investors, but
I wouldn't say that. I would say we've
You
been
got
thankful to be
you got
mentored by
other people. Yeah.
I don't say I don't need mentorship. I'm just saying that I'm thankful that we've been mentored pretty well.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very diplomatic way.
No, it's not diplomatic. It's honesty right there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Bro. I would do the same thing if I was
Yeah.
in your place. But tell me about like your team. How were they? Like, I'm sure even they were learning to the entire process in the last 1.5 years. So, what was it like working for them, with them, and like what were they learning? Bro? Like, you didn't have a clue. I don't think even they had a lot of clue. Or was it the other way around?
I think it's the funny thing is that so I come in as the CEO. So we have a CTO, CFO, and then we have people under.
Yeah.
But the core was always the three of us.
Okay.
And the CFO just happens to be my sister also.
Okay.
Right? So she's a CA, Shrida. So she's a CA as well. So what better than to give your family the power to handle money. So you can blindly trust that person, right?
Right.
Now, the thing is, as a startup, there are a lot of pivots that happen. We probably started as something, became something else, now we're something else. So the pivots involve a lot of tech changes, a lot of accounting policy changes, a lot of changes on a lot of sides, right?
Yeah.
And because, like you also said, there are very few event ticketing platforms, there are a lot of gray areas when it comes to you can say event ticketing accounting policies to be followed, or like
the legal policies.
Yeah, legal also there is a little I could say gray, but we try to make it as strict as possible so that we are safe.
Yeah.
And the tech obviously needed to be revamped in that process. So all in all, I just wake up and I'm like, okay guys, I think we should be doing this now. And they're like, okay, we have so many implications to change. I'm like, tell me in terms of time, how much time would it take you to change? Don't tell me how difficult. Tell me in terms of time. Like, it can be super difficult, but you know it at the back of your head that it is super difficult, but it's going to take 10 hours.
Yeah.
But if in 10 hours I know we can pivot to an XYZ thing and yet make money out of it more, why are we thinking how difficult it is? So let's talk in terms of time. So always we've spoken only in terms of time consumed and not in terms of how difficult or easy is something to be pivoted.
Right.
So we take in a lot of this saying, like, we do a lot of time value analysis, like whether it's actually
opportunity cost also.
Opportunity cost, fair enough. There's a lot of things that we do, but we always speak in terms of time, not in terms of money, not in terms of anything except time.
I think that's the mentality that even you've developed and you want your team to develop.
Yeah, I think so, because again, like I said, this industry is a very low margin industry.
Okay.
So you know for a fact that you aren't making a lot of money unless you're investing your time pretty well in getting a lot of, things covered up. So if I'm chasing money, but I do know, like, if I'm chasing money, that's like barely any margins out there.
Yeah.
But if I chase time and ensure that I'm covering a lot more things, is where I know I will eventually end up, making money out there. So I do think that time is of essence while working with us, because if I'm in a crazy chemical industry or like in a, whatever, like where I'm 50% margins, 75% margins.
Volume don't matter.
Then it is okay. Let's figure out how to sell to crazy people.
Yeah.
But if I'm in 3-4%, guys, let's invest our time to ensure we get the maximum output out of it.
Right. That's always worked for you, right?
Yes, I think it's always worked for us. And even if I go out on a Friday, Saturday night, my parents would probably be thinking I'm partying, but I'm investing that time to ensure my relations with those organizers or those venues just get stronger.
So I saw your LinkedIn post where it said, like, if you want to get paid to party, come to SortMyScene.
Yeah, well, technically you do get paid to party, right?
Because,
I am very... So the good thing with us is that we are an event ticketing platform. Yes, we do this, that. But we also do work in nightclubs and all, right?
Yeah.
And in different cities, in like I think so 25 states or something.
Yeah.
So last week there was one gig in Jaipur, like it was a Haveli outside Jaipur, and it was a morning sunriser party, and there were 1,000 people there. Now that's a gig I wanted to attend. So you're getting
Anyone
paid
would want to attend,
and this is something, if someone was hired with SortMyScene, they would get paid to go there and just party because we want to strengthen our relationship with that organizer. And there were such crazy gigs happening now. Like I can go on naming, like I don't know what all is happening. But these gigs is which get us like completely into it. And when I said get paid to party, I meant it. Like, we would tell the person employee that, yo, you gotta go here, Jaipur, you gotta attend it, you gotta go party and make sure you are partying with the crazy people out there. And connect with them, network with them, because that's what we do.
Coming to the employee perspective, what are you looking for?
Honestly, we reject, like, I think we get 200 applicants or something. 200
every day.
No, when we put out, like, within a day we get 200, 250 applicants, because I think we've pretty much established ourselves somewhere.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is that people look at it as a party organization or an event planning, event organizing platform.
That's why I asked you first that, like, what is SortMyScene? You need to explain it.
Yes, so we don't do any of that. We want someone who can do both, which is, be it 10 to 7, 10 to 6, whatever, work your ass off. After 6, party your ass off, but report at 10 the next morning. That's fine. But we can't expect someone who's just looking to party, 10 to 6 sleep, recover from the hangover, and then get back to partying.
Yeah.
That's not what we want. We want someone who understands partying and working simultaneously, because obviously the strict corporate would have been like, okay, you just need someone who can do the background paperwork and all. But we want someone who can go beyond the role. So they can have ideas about partying. Probably they were at a party and they just realized, oh shit, what if SortMyScene had this?
Yeah.
So even if you're doing it accounts, you can always put across that idea and we'll build it. And the CTO is so cool, he does that. And we're coming up with something super cool for artists as well. And that was just over conversation with a few Bombay-based DJs. And they said, why don't you do this? And you're like, oh, that's interesting.
You want to share the idea?
Well, I'm open to sharing, but I'm just thinking right now, should I?
Sharing it, man. Come on.
I think we are building something for artists to make it easier for independent artists to handle events, finance, accounts, whatever. We want to make it easy for artists to handle their life, and so that they can, not their life, but their gigs and all, so that they can focus on the music part, but let us handle
all the gigs, all that, but
let us handle all of that. Not event, we aren't helping them get into bookings and all. That's not our role. We want to act as a SaaS solution for them and provide them those services which make it easier for them to reach out to.
No, I think that's a really good idea, because bro, the indie artists also, when I look at them, these guys are genuinely very talented and I like hearing their music, but these guys don't have a platform like Spotify and all. Their music is out there, but what after that? How do you even find these people? Nobody knows about, like a lot of indie artists in India at least.
So we're not building something on the front where you can search artists or something.
No, I know.
Like sort my artist.
No. No, but at least whatever you do for them, at least gets them some, like connection with the people. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Like that's the goal, and a lot of them don't follow accounting policies. They don't follow a lot of things normally.
Right.
So that is where Shrida was like, okay, you know what? I think we can help them a lot more, get more out of it.
Yeah, maximize the output. So like if someone out there hears the name SortMyScene, what do you want like them to think about it? What's the brand perception that you want to build in people's minds?
Actually, SortMyScene, when you think about a person from Bombay, your first text on Friday or Saturday is, what's the scene tonight?
Yeah.
You go like, oh, I'm going here, XYZ. Oh, can you sort it? Like if you say, I'm going to a Mitro.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, can you sort it? Or I'm going to a toy room, can you sort it? And you go like, yeah, don't worry, I'll sort it. So what happens is sort and the scene goes a lot in hand right out there.
Got it. No,
and that's why we brought in SortMyScene, wherein we're very much focused on nightlife only, nothing beyond nightlife. None of those cooking classes, those webinars, none of that stuff.
None of the stand-up as well?
Let's not, I don't want to comment about that because that is good revenue out there.
Yeah,
I don't want to comment there. I will leave it very blank. I think I can cover stand-up. So, a funny question, a venue in Bombay, they wanted to do stand-up, and a venue in Raipur. They wanted to do stand-up, and I was like, no stand-up. And they were like, no, but we're a nightlife venue. What is SortMyScene? Aren't you nightlife venue focused?
Yeah.
So if a venue does stand-up, isn't it
Nightlife, yeah, it is.
I was like, yeah, that's a fair thought. So we are in a grey area out there. So probably if it is stand-up happening at venues which are deal with nightlife, yeah, for sure. But not at a banquet.
Right, yeah.
So it's a very grey area. We've left it there, and I want to keep it there. Like that's not our focus right now. Our focus is right now music
Right.
and stuff. Always open to getting into that later.
So the people come to your app, they check it out, and like they know what venue, what are they like offering today, you know, like not stand up but something like partying or something other than that, you know, like a techno gig, a Bollywood gig, whatever it is. So once they come on that, what are you doing to ensure that they actually book through your platform?
The end-to-end user experience that we provide is super easy and super user friendly, and it is to ensure that we don't want you to change your mind by showing you ads, by showing you other events, none of that. If you've come on SortMyScene, the website, we want you to book ASAP. We don't want you to think about something else. And that is what we try to maximize or optimize our conversions. And yeah, we work out with our payment gateway partners or our banking partners to offer discounts again to try to reduce it. So these few things, and sometimes we run discounts ourselves. So those are basics that everyone does, but more on the user experience part is where we focus to ensure people, get to the end ASAP.
Bro, like, you know, your competitors, they offer a lot of discounts, man. It's not sustainable for any business, and you're competing with that. So firstly, like, respect to you for that. But how is it like, how are you competing with that? Because these guys offer so many discounts. Any consumer would find value for money going there. Right.
Fair enough, but what if you don't have an option except us?
Then it's a different thing.
So exactly.
But what if you have options? On a serious
90% of the events you don't have an option.
Okay.
So because our rates, our exclusive rates, watch out guys. So our exclusive rates for event organizers is the lowest in the industry. So no one can reach the rates that we offer. So if you're an event organizer, our rates are the lowest. I don't want to say it out here, but our rates are the lowest, and we'll price match any ticketing platform and beat that price that gives you a better price than us. First. Second, our payment cycle is the fastest, and not faster by 1-2 days. It is faster by 90% of the time. So if someone's taking 10 days, we get it done within, you can say 2 days, 80% of the time, whatever. Within 2 days, payment cycle done. And on the tech side, very openly, there are features which are not there on any
I
other
love the
platform.
tech. I love the
And I'm saying for event organizers.
Okay.
For very specifically for event organizers, we are the cheapest ticketing platform, the fastest payment cycle, and the best tech out there. So the event organizers, for them, we are offering them crazy stuff. So they really then look at us as an exclusive ticketing platform. And as a customer, you don't have an option but me. So do I really need to run discounts?
You graduated from LBS, right? London Business School. And
I'm glad you said London Business School and not London School of Business, because people mess that up.
Yeah, they do?
Yeah, my mom didn't know as well.
No, thank God I know. But yeah, so bro, firstly tell me why is it so hyped? Is it actually worth the hype, or what did you learn there? And because I know, like, once you graduated from there, you actually started out your own company, right? So so then, like, what actually led to that, man?
So I don't think it's hyped.
Okay.
I think you would probably say an LSC is hyped.
Okay.
Okay? Because everyone knows a LSC.
Yeah.
London Business School, I think very specifically a certain audience knows about it. Even though it's a top 3 school or something, right? So it's not hyped. And I would say in terms of the academics, it's probably like any other, right? The selling point at London Business School is very specifically the experience. So you're fighting technically for one space, because the 19 Chinese, they qualify as Asians.
Yeah.
So we're fighting for that one space in that seat, which I don't know how difficult it is. So the last Indian before me was like 6 years before that. So it was a really long span to get it. But when you get to LBS, you're part of the MIM curriculum, which is 200 plus people in that thing.
Yeah.
But again, the good part out there is like there's 50 nationalities. So every 4th or 5th person you're meeting is from a different nationality. And everyone is so welcoming that I think you come out of that cocoon or that shell that you have, especially in Bombay, where you're like, I roam with Indians, I do this, I do that. Of there you are exposed to different ideologies and different mindsets. What LBS does perfectly, it strategically places you in the classroom. You can't go randomly sit anywhere.
Yeah.
You have your spots out there with your name card.
Oh.
So you always, so right and left is usually a different nationality. You already know, no one who you know is gonna be besides you. You go to any other B school, you're gonna find your Indian cohort and probably go sit with them. At the end of the 1 year, you're gonna stick to that. You've probably not learned beyond your culture.
There's no groupism, if I can frame it
Exactly.
in a way.
There's no global exposure out there, right? But with this, you're bound to ask this Swiss guy besides you for that pen, or copy from that Greek guy besides you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you got to do all of that
So
stuff.
there's like a plethora of perspectives that you get.
Exactly. And then they bring in study groups. So in a study group, there are like 5 or 6 people. It's been a time since I went there. 6 people, out of which one is Indian, one is Chinese. The rest 4 are from different nationalities, not Indians and Chinese. And all are from different backgrounds usually. And out of the 6 people, 3 guys, 3 girls. So it is so nicely and diversely put out there that even if you don't want to be exposed to a global mindset, you're just compelled to be exposed to it. And I think that's what makes you think differently once you're done with that course. And it's not that they give you the study group and be like, okay, now you got to work with them. There is an event after that, like once you get your study group, where there's a day out where you're camping together, you're doing tasks together, so that, you know, there's a lot of team bonding and all. You're competitive with other teams. At the end of it, after that 1-day course, after that 1-day day out, dude, we're like buddies. We're probably going for beers together. We're catching up after that. And you just make friends so naturally, which would have been so difficult at any other university, going up to an Italian guy and being like, hey, and they'd be like, hey, and then what do you do?
You know, one more thing is fascinating to me. The way you described it, I also think most people go there with the objective of finding a job after graduating. You did something completely else, man. Like, you're the first person I know that came back and then you started your own thing, which is like short up right now. So, dude, like, do they like teach you all of that over there? Or like, why do most people go with that job mindset that I have to, or find, you know, I have to find a job after this?
So I think the dean, on his first day, what he said was, welcome to LBS. You can do only 3 things out here. 2 out of the 3 things, which is either you get a crazy job, do perfect academics, or socialize. Create a crazy network. 3 things. Just to choose 2 out of the 3 wisely. I chose academics and network. I was not focusing on job because of 2 reasons. One is I had another year after LBS, which was at Fudan. So I had to go there. So it wouldn't make sense to find a job there. And secondly, thankfully, I had a family business backing me up.
Right.
And my dad had told me, why you plan to do a job there when it is the time of India. Come back, expand the business, or start something of your own. So I think India as a market always convinced me that I have to be here and build something. You build anything in any other country, even if it's a UK or like Germany, you gotta expand beyond boundaries because they don't have enough of population. So you have to go from UK to probably Spain or Germany or expand your business everywhere. India is so big. This is your entire customer base, like market. One policy out here throughout. It's not like different states have different policies. One policy almost out here except alcohol, but one policy throughout the country. It's so easy to start here, like not in terms of paperwork, but once you get started, it's so easy for you to penetrate different states. You're capturing this country, which is like 1 in 4 or 5 people is Indian, right? So starting things abroad, I think, is a lot more difficult because you got to think beyond that particular country.
Plus, I think expenses, living, everything comes into picture.
And when it comes to job, coming back to your question, I think it's a different perspective. Some people go with the mindset that they will land that perfect job, scale up the ladder and be part of the crazy corporate structure. And some people go with the perspective of getting an ROI back. If I've invested £100,000,
most people go with that.
I want to recover that as well. And so there are multiple things that come in, and I think landing a job is a lot based on
I want to know your opinion, man, on that. Like, what's your opinion of what a person should do when they're going abroad?
I think go beyond yourself to learn more about different cultures and different mindsets, because at the end of it, that is how you become a global citizen. Right now, India is culturally diverse, but at the end of it, we're not nationally diverse when you're working in Bombay or you're working in Delhi, in Mumbai or Bombay. Anywhere you're working, you're not nationally diverse, which brings in a different national mindset. But when you're abroad, especially in UK, I wouldn't say much about the US, but if you're in the UK, London being almost as the capital of the world when it comes to diversity, nationality and all of this, you meet different people in cafes, different people at bars, and everyone's open to conversation. And you learn so much in that process that I think it just gives you different ideas, at work, like if you get a job there, to work differently, to understand what they're thinking, or else what we think is, okay, probably he's not doing this because he's lazy or something.
Yeah.
But there is a different mindset why a certain nationality or culture would not be doing something in a
The
particular
psychology
way.
is much different, and but like I'm curious enough to like understand about that. Like, why is a person behaving the way he or she is? No, that's the thing that I wanted to get out. That like, is it like absolutely necessary for people to go to some place to then start something of their own or get a job? And it's like a gray area. Like it's he said, she said thing. But I think at the end of the day, there's no right answer to this. You know?
Yeah, it's just that when you're abroad, you come out of that shell.
Yeah.
And you see different startups out there. And we are just, as India, we are like 5 years behind.
Yeah.
I would say in a lot of
5-6
ways.
years, yeah. No, we are.
So be it, I would say Flipkart is a duplicate of Amazon. Ola is a duplicate of Uber. But all of these guys came from there here. Like even your Zepto is a duplicate of Gorillas.
Yeah.
So I was on call with Shadan, who's my German best friend, and she told me about Gorillas out there. Where she's like, hey Dhruv, this was during lockdown. She's like, hey Dhruv, there's this cool startup in Germany. It's called Gorillas. See, I'll order a chocolate right now, and it'll come to me in 7 minutes. I was like, what bullshit? And on call, and we're talking, we're having a nice FaceTime call. She's like, hey, it's here already. I was like, dude, this is crazy.
And then come here like,
and Zepto comes like after a few like a year or so. Zepto is here. I'm like, oh, I told Shadan about it. Like, dude, this.
There's a crazy story about Zepto as well. Like, they basically got a lot of investors on board, and they're like, parents are big shots. You know, there are like 2 guys now, 19-year-olds. So these guys basically raised a lot of funds from Dubai. That kind of rose their valuations up and up and up. And that's how they became they got the unicorn ka tag. And now it's, when you see the company, it's like in shambles mostly. Right?
I won't comment on that.
You won't comment? I know. It just came to my head, so I'm like, want to share that.
No, it's just that when I was discussing with Shadan, when this came through, we were discussing about the sustainability. And she's this super smart girl, like one of the smartest girls I've met in my life.
Yeah.
We discussed in and out about the P&L possibilities, what are the revenue streams, the costs attached, whatever numbers we worked down. I was like, dude, how is this sustainable? I was always stuck on the fact, like, so credits to the Zepto guys if they've made it sustainable, but Shada and me, we were always stuck that we don't see this, they'll scale, they'll do whatever, and selling out, but we don't see it sustainable.
Look at Blinkit.
I'm silent. I'm just saying that we didn't find it sustainable out there.
Yeah. If you want to, like, if someone's building a company out there and he's relatively young, and like a person my age or something, what do you think they should start out with? The 3 things that you think are like important for him or her to start out?
I think it's important that the person first creates a minimal viable product. Basically, puts out a product out there, tries it, tests it, sees a basic customer experience with it. Like, for example, you have for example, you're selling a cool, I think streetwear is in fashion, right? Let's take streetwear, for example. For example, you're setting up your own streetwear brand. I don't think you need to go create an inventory of like 1,000 t-shirts and another 1,000 pants, knowing that you'll sell out everything. Nah, I don't see you need to do that. What I think is you just need a basic Shopify website or whatever. Nothing crazy. Basic Shopify website, some good Instagram, so performance marketing and all. Get your inventory on a 2-order basis. Cut down all capital expenditure that you think would be stuck out there in case you failed. Create that minimal viable 2 pieces, 3 pieces, give it out to your friends, see what the response is, come back, revamp, change. So I think the minimal viable product without going all out is a very safe way to go about it. And I think that is what I would always suggest. I know so many people who are building like 200 t-shirts in their inventory, and I'm like, are you sure it's going to sell out?
Yeah, exactly. Like build 10. I think that's what jaywalking also did. They didn't like get a 100 other t-shirts out there and just started selling it off.
Yeah.
They got 10 that were like very, very good, and that kind of like sold out.
Yeah.
So
That's what you do. You maintain minimum inventory out there.
Yeah.
Second is, I think, network.
Okay.
Wherever you reach in life, your network is your net worth.
Right.
And the network that you create will help you go from 0 to 1 to 100 also. I'm not saying this, you just rely on your network.
I think it's like compounding.
Yeah, it compounds. Like, I was never in this industry. I was never in hospitality, never in ticketing. I've done it. It took me 9 months to land my first client. But when we went there, gave the perfect pitch, those guys made us meet another group of people. Then they made us meet another event organizer. So that is how,
you kind of
we are where we are, is because of our network that we've created.
Right.
And I think that is what I would say, founders to be very network oriented.
Okay.
And lastly, I would say is customer is God. There is, take feedback. Go back, take feedback from the customer. Like, I think the customer needs to be understood and then be given logical explanation always.
Yeah.
You can't treat them trash, nor can you keep them at a very good pedestal where they burn you out completely. Like, I know so many people who've gone on these Insta food delivery startups and raised false claims about spoiled food order and all of that, and drained a lot of cash.
Yeah.
So I would say that drains you out a lot, but I would say you gotta just understand from customers' perspective and take honest feedback, genuine feedback. And from, again, coming back to SortMyScene, the organizer side of platform that we've built, every feature we've incorporated has been contributed by a specific organizer, where he's like, hey, why don't you get this on the platform for us? This will make my life easy. We went back, we added that. Whatever has been suggested, we add that back. So I think
that's like a really good answer. Like, let me tell you that, because a lot of people don't think about networking that much. Even if they do, they don't know how to do it. And the third thing, the criticism part, not a lot of people can hear that, and that's just a life fact. I think everyone has been at a place where they've gotten criticized, but they couldn't deal with it in a fruitful way, if I can just put it. No, this was like a really fun conversation I had with you, bro. I learned a lot today. Thank you for being a part of the show. Happy to have you here, and until next time, man.
Okay, but like, share, subscribe, guys.